nervous here. I want to have a talk about expansion. I've been really putting this material to work for the last 3 years. I've been doing a great job. But there's also a part of me that goes or says, am I really doing it enough? So I'm pretty good at now focusing on one thing, which is emotion.
Before you go further, we have a question to stick in here. Am I really doing it enough? Could it be that you have not yet come to terms with the fact that it's never going to be enough? Because there's always going to be more to create. And so you're looking for an ending place that isn't there. You're looking for a sort of final point of attraction that's just never going to show up. There's always going to be somewhat of a gap between where you are and what you've asked for. All right, just want to get that in there.
What I really appreciate about myself with all this is, as I continue to listen to your material, is I'm able to, it's like I can feel it in a whole different level, a knowingness that's so extraordinary. And one of the things I wanted to ask you about is there so I might wake up and feel good, and then my thought gets going and I get towards dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
And I'm able to, within an hour or two, maybe even less, disappear that. I'll get back on focus. I'm back in.
If it's an hour or two, you let it go too far before you realized it.
Well, I realize that I just can't shake it. How's that? Still the same.
Or are you milking it for contrast because you're reaching for expansion? Could be either. Which do you prefer? Pick that.
Well, yeah, which do I prefer? It's, yeah. So let's, expansion. What, is there some kind of measurement I could use other than, I want to kind of true myself up to setting that's like goals, the goal of.
The thing is, the goals happened in step 1.
Yes.
There's enough expansion in your vortex to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. So the expansion that you're wanting to experience is the more chronic connection and the more chronic inspiration, and then the conscious witnessing of the vibrations turning to thoughts and the thoughts turning to things and so forth. This is sort of where we started this conversation yesterday. It's like this. We're going to give you our version of what you're asking for. Is satisfaction really what I came here to accomplish? Aren't there bigger things that I came here to accomplish? And we want to say, yeah, lots of really big things. Satisfaction's just the indicator. It's not the goal. Satisfaction is the indicator of where you are. So the way you measure it is, when you really, really want something, it feels really, really exciting if you're really, really in tune with it. When you really, really want something and you don't believe it, then it feels really, really uncomfortable. If you want it a little, it feels a little exciting. If you want it a little and you doubt it a little, it's just annoying. Sometimes we feel it with you. We felt it with the first person that we talked to yesterday that kind of got this off in the same direction. Esther feels it from time to time. She will say to herself, all right, I think I understand this. I understand the laws of the universe. I'm good at focusing. I know, I've proven to myself that when I point, it comes. What do I want? What do I want? And a question like, what do I want to point out now, is a request for more contrast. More clarifying contrast. But, contrast seems like a bad thing. Contrast doesn't seem like something I want. So sometimes what happens with students of what we are talking about here is that you don't mean to, but you sort of don't focus on your desires quite so much because you don't want to stir up contrast that is clarifying and sort of puts the fuel in the tank. Did you just hear what we're getting at?
It's interesting. I don't want for much. My most important thing for me is just keeping in that satisfied state, because when I'm there, everything happens, right?
Well, that's the perfect state of being. As you express that, that's the optimum state of creative attraction. But there was a but there?
Yeah. And I think one of the things it's come clear to me, I think my expansion has slowed down because it's clear I've kind of avoided meditation.
My expansion is slowed down. Now, the only thing that can slow expansion down is resistance. That's the only thing that slows expansion down. But we want to talk about this because we're asking you this question. Because you all get it that resistance slows expansion down because resistance doesn't let in the stuff that you've asked for. But wouldn't lack of contrast slow down launching of rockets? Isn't a launching of a rocket part of the expansion too?
Yes.
We're almost talking you back in to embracing or encouraging a little more living of life, a little more of getting stuck at the gate, a little more of getting out there, a little more of not being bothered by contrast. Yeah. We have a question for you. Do you prefer dissatisfaction to satisfaction?
I prefer satisfaction.
Do you prefer satisfaction to powerful interest?
Oh, you know what I mean? They go hand in hand.
Yeah, but which do you prefer,
like
satisfaction or powerful interest?
Powerful interest.
So what you just said to us wasn't quite accurate. You don't just want to be satisfied. You really would like some powerful interest. Which do you like best? These are easy answers because we're setting you up for it, but we're making a point. Satisfaction or powerful enthusiasm?
Powerful enthusiasm. Love it.
Satisfaction or clarity?
Clarity.
We might be giving it away with our tone of voice. You are so right that what you really want is to be satisfied. And we want to say to you, once you are satisfied, if you will just even tread water there and not let any resistance enter the equation, those others must come. They are the next logical step, and they must come fast. If you can maintain more satisfaction, law of attraction is just going to get that going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. It just has to be. So if anybody is just sort of lingering in satisfaction, that means you got a little more resistance that you're putting in the pile than you're acknowledging. Good?
One other question.
Yeah.
So, meditation. 15 minutes. What the heck? What benefit? How does that 15 minutes going to make a difference here? I mean, I kind of feel like I meditate when I walk to the office for a half hour, or I'm listening, or going for a run or a bike. Are those not also forms of meditation or distraction?
We'll offer you some conversation and then you tell us. We're going to put it to you in a really powerful way. 10 seconds of an absolute quiet mind is more powerful than any action that you've ever offered all put together. The leverage of non-physical is like that. 10 seconds. So we suggest 15 or 20 minutes because it usually takes that long to get that 10 seconds. But when you're walking to the office, there are things to think about. It's not a quieted mind. And we love you so much, but do you know, almost everything in your physical environment triggers something. There's just triggering mechanisms everywhere. Esther went with friends to an antique barn yesterday, and everything in the place triggered something. The memory of things like that having moved through their lives before. They just told stories. Oh, my grandmother had that. Oh, I remember that. I had one of those one time and I painted it a different color. Esther wanted to get an 18-wheeler and just load it up and take it all back to Texas and turn crap into beautiful things because it activated within her those days of wanting to make something of something. The creative juices just began to flow. They were salivating as they were moving through it. Everything triggers something. Music triggers something. You see someone who reminds you of someone, it triggers something. You live in a world that triggers. And what meditation does, it puts you in a place where you are more likely to be triggered towards satisfying things than triggered toward unsatisfying things. And that's really the balance of the work that we've been encouraging in these couple of mornings that we've spent together.
Great. Thanks
Really
so
good.
much.
Really good. Yeah.